It seems such a long time since I was last stood here introducing one of these videos, and this is a video where I'm surveying for glowworm larvae. It's the first one I've done this year, but I'll explain the reason for that as we go. As you can hear, I'm not far off the road, and this is section A. The course of this video will see me walk and look for glowworm larvae through 4 sections, A, B, C and D, and then probably come back down through those 4 sections. Whether we find any glowworm larvae or not on the path, I've no idea. It's 10 degrees centigrade already. The temperature is starting to drop, and that's what it's been doing for much of March and the beginning of April. We've had no warm evenings, or not as warm as I would like, and the temperature has soon dropped as we get into the late afternoon and early evening. So hopefully in the course of this video I may well be able to find you a glowworm larva or 2. I fear that it may well be too cool. One of the things that I like to see in this first stretch of path are some other invertebrates, namely the pill millipede, Glomeris marginata. The more I see of those, the better, because I know that it's warm enough and mild enough for invertebrate activity and hopefully glowworm larva activity. Wolf spiders as well. I don't see the odd one of those scuttling across the path. At the moment, I've not seen anything. This may well be a blank walk or survey for glowworm larvae, but we'll see. I'm only part of the way through section A. Got a long way to go. One of the reasons why I don't come up here covering glowworms so often as I used to is down to a management problem, to be honest, a lot of the time. And the management problem we have now, or I have a problem with, should we say, is that at one time all of this just used to be cut. Took a bloke in a tractor half a day to cut the whole lot, job done, and that was done between September and March. And then a number of years ago, all the powers that be that have some involvement with this place couldn't decide whose job it was to look after it, so it didn't get looked after. It's scrubbed over completely. You wouldn't believe how this used to be. It started to be cut again the last few years through work of Forestry England and the Sherwood Forest Trust, but there's still a problem. The cutting is haphazard. The last few years it's all been cut, and in the case of this strip here alongside the path, it's been cut twice. There's the problem. Never used to be cut twice. It was only ever cut once a year, either any time from September right through to early March, and then it was fine for the glowworms. But now, for some reason this year, they've gone all over with the tractor and the gang mower, but they've left this strip alongside the path, which should be cut. Of course, when you leave a strip with bramble here and lots of scrub that's still prevalent, if it's not cut, that scrub and the bramble grows. And that's the problem we're going to have. Although they'll probably have the same cunning plan as they've had the last 2 years, that in the time of the peak glowworm season, usually sometime in June or early July, someone will come along with a tractor and a gang mower and cut this strip. That also occurs with the time when the flora is at its best. Now, the flora in Sherwood Forest is severely limited, but this path side does get quite good, especially for nectar bearing flowers like knapweed. Then they come along and cut it down. I made a video about it a couple of years ago. I didn't bother last year because I was just so angry and so disappointed that I never bothered. But I can guarantee that's what will happen again. It just used to be so easy to manage this place. Half a day of a bloke's time in a machine. It's not looking good for any larvae to be found. I haven't seen a single invertebrate on the path. Now, a lot of that may well be down to temperature. A lot may well be down to the fact that it's incredibly dry, and that's not good for glowworms. Glowworms like a good degree of moisture, and we had it before, Dillis and myself, that when we had long periods of dryness like this, and this path completely dried out to the colour that you can see, then we would struggle to find glowworms. If it rained a good deal tomorrow, and I came out tomorrow evening after it had stopped, and if it was milder, I can guarantee that there would be 1 or 2 glowworms on this path. I think I'm in for a blank evening here. Now, some of you, I realise, may not know what a glowworm larva looks like, but they are fabulous little things. I say that about a lot of invertebrates, but they really are the most fabulous thing. Unless you're a snail or a slug, then they're not very nice at all, but they do have the power to glow. At the end of the body of the glowworm larva, there are 2 glowing plates, only small disc-like plates, but catch them at the right angle and they can be incredibly bright, a lot brighter than what you would suspect. This time of year in the spring, the larvae rarely glow. That's what Dillis and I find out by coming up here many times in the spring looking for the glows of glowworm larvae, and we only found them on 1 occasion, if I remember right, in the autumn or from midsummer. It's a different matter. The larvae glow a lot and glow while they're hunting, occasionally while they're resting on a grass stem too, and they can glow anything from a second right up to minutes. No chance of that today, but obviously I'm looking for them by sight, and if I did find one, it would be between 12 and 25 millimeters in length. We found hundreds and hundreds over the years. Could do with some of those now. Well, since I've been at the top of section D, I've had a bit of a wander around to kill sort of 20 minutes. I'm going to have a steady walk back now, but I think this is going to be a blank. There's not an invertebrate to be found out and about in the open, and I think that's how it's going to continue down the path. But sometimes we've been proved wrong and have turned out to be lucky before and found the odd glowworm larva, even when the temperature has been about 8 centigrade. Here's hoping for the same luck tonight. I'm about at the end now, just another 50 yards, and I'm back at the car. No sign of any glowworm larvae on the path this evening. In fact, I've not seen an invertebrate at all of any description. And that's purely down to temperature. We must be about 8 or maybe even 7 degrees centigrade now. It certainly feels like that. And that's been the big problem with the spring so far. There's been very, very few mild nights. They've all dropped very cool indeed, and we've had bits of frost in the last few nights. Nice by a day, but too cool at night. However, all hasn't been lost and all without reward, because about 100 yards just back there, as I was walking down, I saw a dark shape in the middle of the grass. I thought, that's a deer. And it was. It turned out to be a muntjac. And probably a short-sighted one, because I was able to get within 10 yards of it before it eventually trotted into the undergrowth. Had that with muntjac before. Dillis and I followed one just a bit further down from where I am now with a torch on a night time. As we were walking along, there was this little muntjac trotting along about 10 yards in front of us. So that was a nice little moment, one of those moments that nature can give you if you put a large amount of time and effort into going out and recording it. Just a shame we didn't get a glowworm larva, but I need to come when the conditions are better, when the conditions are more mild, and when we've had some rain, because that's a key factor too. If you're out or wanting to look for glowworm larva, you need some moisture underfoot, and we haven't had any of that for what seems like ages.